All right, real quick, I don't want to harp on this by any stretch of the imagination because my man is just in his first handful of games, and I think he's going to be a great player. But I want to take you guys' temperature on what do you think about Kyle Hamilton right now. Now, when he had this particular play right here in this Patriots game, splataya, man, I got up out my seat. I was freaking excited as I don't know what. My man came through with a clutch play right here. An unsuspecting ball carrier ran him down, splataya, and then splatter whacked him as well. I was like, let's get it. But man, the next game, did he even play? I forgot he was on the team. He didn't chart, I don't believe. I don't remember that man's name being called at all. I don't remember him being involved in any type of play in the loss to the Bills. Now listen, I don't know how I ran across this right here, but this is why I always call PFF. This is my entire career, so this is nothing new. I call it pussies frequently follow because I wipe my ass with whatever they're talking about in regards to football. Kyle Hamilton is the second highest rated Ravens defender according to PFF. How, Sway? Son, that's asinine, ludicrous. He's not the second best player on the Ravens defense. You can name 7, 8 players playing better than him, and it's not really necessarily his fault. I feel as though he's miscast. But to say he's the second best player, to me, that shows you why you can't. What I said, I told these cats 10 years ago when people were tagging me and shit about them, you can't comparatively grade players who are not playing in the same scheme, not playing the same competition. This isn't baseball. You can't do that shit. It makes zero sense. And this, my friend, please, someone out there, make it make sense. The second best Ravens defender? This alone makes it not make sense. Look at the defensive snaps here. Started off with 50% of the snaps, and then in that Miami game, which was a debacle, he played 54% of the snaps, 38 snaps. And then after that, 16 snaps for 24% of the snaps, and then 17 snaps, which was 27% of the snaps. 20-something, he's playing primarily on special teams. That's your highest rated defender, some guy who's playing 27% of the snaps. That makes sense to anyone? Then when he's getting in, he's not doing anything? Look, across the board, I was right. He didn't chart. He had nothing. No tackles, PBUs, anything, right? The game before that was that New England game. He had that forced fumble, but is he really out there making an impact? And I'll tell you why I believe he's not. He is a post safety. I said it before the draft. That's why I was comparing him to Sean Taylor, because I believe him to be a post safety. He's supposed to be playing where Marcus Williams is playing. This is supposed to be that man right there, where you see my man Marcus Williams, who I said was going to do exactly what he's doing. As I told you guys before, remember, I used to cover the Saints, so I know all about Marcus Williams' skill set. He is a post safety through and through. He has severe range, and he has great instincts to be able to drive like this. Look at this. Jakob, that man coming from depth, right? You can play that man at middle field close here, have him run alleys, have him scan, run alleys, have him middle field close all the way past out the numbers. He has that type of range, but he's a great tackler as well. He's just you got to pardon this this film right here. It's a little messed up, but you can see right there the type of range that he has moving forward and backwards. That's Kyle Hamilton's game right there. Kyle Hamilton being a drop-in safety or the third safety in a set, because remember, you have Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark is not one of these guys, to be honest, I expected to be on the team. So I at least expected him to have a role, because I don't know why I was listening to people, because you know me, I'm a Chuck Clark apologist through and through. I think the world of Chuck Clark and his intelligence with the game of football, and I think his skill set, he has a specific skill set. He can cover. He's a drop-in guy who can play as a dime linebacker, whatever you need him to be down in that box. And he can play a little bit at depth as well. But, you know, you drop him around the box, he's going to diagnose. He can blitz. He can do all that kind of stuff. That's not necessarily Kyle Hamilton's game either. So If he can't be a Marcus Williams, he can't be Chuck Clark because both of those guys are prevalent. You will never move Marcus Williams off that spot. You pay him too much money, and that is his skill set. You probably have to be playing him where Chuck Clark is. But how do you justify taking Chuck Clark off the field as well? If Kyle Hamilton can't be at depth and show off his range, the second best thing he could do probably is diagnosing, which you see Chuck Clark do right here. The strength of the defense has shifted, so he immediately closes in that gap right there and works back to front right here. Look at him keeping the ball carrier. Look at that. And look who arrives at the play, right? All EMT team right there, Chuck Clark. He's going to arrive at the play. Look at him inside out, making sure the running back is unable to find that organic crease and cut back there. Just those subtle things like that, man. You see Chuck Clark, the guy just understands the game of football, right? And then back to Marcus Williams. Look at this. Middle field closed, corner route here. And watch him diagnose on this and get there. Look at that. Brandon Stevens in trail. And Brandon Stevens was damn near in FEMA mode with it right there, right? Coming out of that break. But he did a good job of pseudo staying in his hip pocket there. But you can see my man right here, last line of defense, showing off that range, breaks up the pass. Let's see it from this range right here, or this angle. You can see him working here. And the shit pop locking on me. I don't know why, but you'll get the gist of it right here. That's what I expect from Kyle Hamilton. Listen, if this was Wink Martindale, who I think is just flat out, obviously he's going to be better than the Coach McDonald. He's just got more experience at this point. He would have a plan. I'm not sure if there was a plan for Kyle Hamilton or if they read his skill set wrong. And this has nothing to do with his time speed. Matter of fact, let's check this out right here. This is why people don't understand this sport right here. All right, so we know Kyle Hamilton ran a 4.59, and people were all out of sorts. 4.59, this and that. I'm like, you people are just new. Come on, man. There's no way you watched Kyle Hamilton and you thought he was some type of 4.4 guy. That's not Kyle Hamilton's game. Guess what? But it doesn't have to be. A lot of these guys who can work middle field close, like who? One of the best doing it, if not the best, his teammate Marcus Williams ran a 4.56. 0.3 of a second is not that much at all. He ran a 4.56, and we see the type of range that he has. One of the other best players that I know who is a post safety is Seattle Seahawks Quandre Diggs, and my man ran a 4.56 as well. So stop it. That has nothing to do with it. You just got to play the man where he's best playing at, and that's not going to happen with the Baltimore Ravens. So, like I said, if he can't be Marcus Williams, he has to be Chuck Clark. But you can't be Chuck Clark right now. So, where was the plan? The plan, no, I wouldn't suggest cutting a Chuck Clark either. So, you drafted a safety with perhaps Diggs on being the third safety. You drafted him that high? Come on, that makes no sense to me. Well, what are we doing here? Remember, I went hammer time when Kyle Hamilton was the pick. I wanted him to be the pick, but I felt like they would have a plan, and I just don't see it. But Hamilton needs to make his presence known. When he's dropped in like this and he's in fabricated pressure situations, he's got to get a little bit more physical than this. You can see right here. Damn. My man, like vice grips on him. Look, Damian Harris still on him right now as we speak to this day. He's still on Kyle Hamilton. Other than roles like that, he floats, and I see him in a lot of man coverage on tight ends. That's also not his game. That's something he'll have to improve on over the course of time. So I don't feel him making a serious impact being straight up on tight ends. But let me know what you think, man. Would it be until next year when maybe Chuck Clark is not on the team, which I don't want to see, but hey, that's why you drafted Kyle Hamilton. Will he make his impact then in Chuck Clark's role, or man, will it just continue to be more of the same, man? I don't know, but let me know what you think, Flock Wall Street. Until then, strike the band.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.